diversity, and cultural competence a lot lately. That's not surprising given the state of our country at the moment. I think about this especially as it relates to the maker movement, and I'll be using inclusion rather than diversity here. And my favorite explanation of this is from Martha Myers. Diversity is being invited to the party, inclusion is being asked to dance. So not too long ago, I was invited to the White House as part of a meeting of Makerspace organizers. In her speech during the meeting, the Chief Technology Officer of the United States, Megan Smith, told us that this was one of the most gender unbalanced rooms that she had been in a while. And it was true. There weren't many women, much less people of color or other visible minorities, not much different from this room. This is a picture of a few of us, women, at the Equity for Design for Intentional Inclusion breakout session in the afternoon. The session is attended by the so-called choir, which is not surprising when it comes to topics that can make people uncomfortable. So how did I get to this White House meeting? I'm a key member of Makerspace Urbana. We're a working group of the Urbana-Champaign Independent Media Center dedicated to enabling the blend of arts, humanities, science, and technology. And our mission is to provide an open community lab where people of diverse backgrounds can learn, teach, tinker, collaborate, innovate, socialize, and create. We're located in the basement of the Independent Media Center in the post office of downtown Urbana. We're a small space that provides community, tools, expertise to make stuff. And we also have things like workshops on making things. People can learn how to solder, work with small electronics, sew, do origami. This is a picture of us doing our workshop. We also organize the Heartland Maker Fest. It's October 1st at Lincoln Square Mall from 9 to 2 p.m. and it's free. It's an opportunity to show what you make in Champaign-Urbana and the surrounding communities. Our goal with the fest is to inspire by searching for creative makers to exhibit at the festival, to empower by focusing on hands-on experiences, and to connect by creating a free and open festival focused on connecting attendees. So here are some questions about inclusivity. What is an inclusive community? How do we build one at Makerspace Urbana? How do we know what's working and what isn't? What do we do when problems come up? So you might have noticed that our mission is inclusive. It discusses all types of making, not just tech, and all kinds of people. We also proactively adopted an anti-harassment policy. This was based on Noisebridge in San Francisco that had previously adopted one in response to an incident, and we decided it would be good for us to have one too. In fact, during the White House meeting, developing the anti-harassment policy was discussed as one of the best things you can do to help make your space more inclusive. The hardest part of the policy is, of course, enforcement. So our anti-harassment policy says, Makerspace Urbana is dedicated to providing a harassment-free experience for everyone, regardless of gender, gender identity, expression, sexual orientation, disability, physical appearance, body size, race, or religion. We do not tolerate harassment of people at our events or space in any form. Any sexual language or imagery should be used only for positive purposes in accordance with the best practices advocated by professional sex educators. If you're not sure what those are, don't do it. Harassment includes offensive verbal comments that relate to gender identity and expression, sexual orientation, disability, physical appearance, body size, race, religion, sexual images in public spaces, deliberate intimidation, stalking, following, harassing photography or recording, sustained disruption or talks at other events, inappropriate physical contact, and unwelcome sexual attention. People asked to stop for any harassing behavior are expected to comply immediately. People violating these rules may be sanctioned or expelled from the space or the event at the discretion of any Makerspace Urbana member. If you wish to report harassment anonymously or privately, you can send a message to makerspace@gmail.com. So the anti-harassment policy is just the first step to creating an inclusive community. What else do we do? We practice invitation, communication, and compassion. So first, invitation. In fact, Carrie Love of New York City Resistor said at the White House meeting that she got involved in New York Resistor because she was invited to do so. And that's what happened to me. Jeff Putney, the guy who took most of these pictures, invited me to come to Makerspace Urbana even though I told him I didn't make anything. He said it didn't matter, and he was right. I eventually started making lots of things, but the lack of pressure to make something on that first day made a difference. Our second practice is communication, and I have to say this is one of the hardest parts of inclusion. Something all members have to work on every time we're welcoming people to the space, or answering an email, or tabling an event, or dealing with conflict. We are continually working on this. What does it mean to communicate? How do you work with people with different communication styles? How do you communicate through conflict? What's the best approach to people who have different ideas than yours? And how do you address people who feel they've been wronged? Finally, we work on having compassion. In order to be inclusive, you have to have empathy for people and meet them where they are. This is vital in the maker movement because you're often working with technology that can seem completely mysterious. There's sometimes a steep learning curve for using all the various tools, and you have to be compassionate when people just want to give up because they failed, because they are unsure of the first steps, or even what they want to make in the first place. The maker movement as a whole is working toward being more inclusive, not just a place for white guys to play with their toys. I was very happy to see this was not only a priority for our small makerspace, but also for the president. More than anything, it's important to remember that inclusivity in a community is not a one and done. Like any other relationship, you must care for it every day. At the makerspace, we struggle with these things every day, but we try to use invitation, communication, and compassion to build a stronger and better community. So here's my invitation to you. I hope you'll stop by Makerspace Urbana someday. No project needed.